students, Mrs. Doulton here. So before we proceed with chapter 12, I want to go back to chapter 10 for a second. Let's look at that quote. I look over at Buddy's food bag. All of a sudden, I have an idea. And one more time, I'm making a plan. So it's important that you listen to my videos and not just jump to the stop and jot question. Many of you got stuck on this question. What do you think little T's plan is? Use evidence from the text to support your response. Well, he's looking at the food bag, and I'm making an inference. I'm making a guess based on what I know in life and what I'm reading in the text. And the food bag is probably getting empty. And little T's thinking, how am I going to buy more food for Buddy? Well, Mrs. Washington, as you can see, he just mowed Mrs. Washington's lawn and she paid him. So little T's thinking, all of a sudden I have an idea, and one more time I'm making a plan. So he's probably planning on starting a lawn mowing business to earn money to buy food for Buddy. So those are just my thoughts. Let's go into chapters 11 and 12. So little T did start little T's lawn mowing service to raise money to care for Buddy. Little T interacts with J-Boy, and J-Boy insults not only little T, but also Buddy. And I'm asking you, what do you think is happening with J-Boy? And remember, J-Boy's mother didn't know where he was. Remember that in chapter 11? If you're following my videos, I hope. Okay. Please follow my videos. Yay. Let's go to chapter 12. J-Boy is the fool, of course. Mama and Daddy have been saying it all along, and it's for true. As it turns out, I've got one call waiting when I get inside, and the very next day, when I roll out the lawnmower, Buddy comes limping along with me. He's doing his three-legged walk down the sidewalk, and some little kid snickers, and I say, "You laugh at my dog and I'll bust your head." Well, that little kid's eyes get all big and he runs inside. Buddy lifts up his tail and watches him run. And I think, there goes that mowing job. While I mow the lawn, Buddy lays down on the sidewalk. He puts his nose on his front feet and he watches me going back and forth, back and forth. When people walk down the street, they're cussing at him for laying in the sidewalk. I say, "What do you expect? He's only got 3 legs." Buddy lifts up his head and watches them walk on, and I tell him, "Just you lay back down, Buddy. It's okay to stay right where you are." When we get home, I fill up his water bowl and I rub his ears, and we sit in the shed by the lawnmower and we talk. We talk. "If you had 4 legs," I say to Buddy, "we might walk down to the river." Mama says, "I can't go that far, but if you went with me, she would have to let me go." Buddy's tail goes thump, thump, like he's saying he wishes he could help me. We could really throw the ball there, and we'd watch those barges make the turn. Jamila and me saw that once when we were at the aquarium. Those barges coming down the river go under the bridge so fast you think they're going to whack right into it, but they don't. After they pass under the bridge, they've got to swing way wide to one side to get around the bend in the river. And you're just hoping they don't smash into the bank, and they don't. And then you look and you see the other barges coming up the river, and you think now for sure they're going to crash into each other. And you cross your fingers and close your eyes, and when you open them up again, there go the barges sailing past each other like nothing ever happened. And after that, you look up and down the river, and you can't hardly believe it, because here comes a whole bunch more barges doing it over and over again. When I stop talking, Buddy thumps his tail like he wants me to go on. You see, Little T and Buddy have a special relationship. They're like friends. And Little T starts talking and asking all sorts of questions to Buddy. Where do you think those barges are coming from, Buddy? What do you think they've got in them? What do you think it would be like to ride on one of them? Jamila said she's going to do that one day. Start maybe all the way at the top of the river and ride all the way down, all the way out to the ocean. Where do you think that river starts, Buddy? I know it ain't Chicago, but it can't be too far from there. And what do you think the ocean looks like, Buddy? I've seen pictures and I've seen movies, but I ain't never seen the real thing. Do you think it's scary, Buddy? All that water moving all the time? And what about mountains? What about hills? We ain't even got hills in New Orleans. We've got swamps and we've got alligators and we've got roaches, but we ain't got hills. Buddy ain't moving. He's asleep. Do you think I ought to stay in New Orleans when I get grown? Do you think Mama would let me go off? What if I go where it gets cold sometimes and Buddy jumps and wakes himself up? It's okay, I say. You're coming with me. He settles his head back on my lap. But we can't go now, Buddy. I've got all those lawns to mow, and at the end of the summer, there's school all over again. I heave a sigh. And Buddy does too. But guess what Daddy says? I go on. He says if I've got enough money come August, he'll take me to the store and we'll get a bicycle. Buddy looks up at me and I say, you think I ought to get a red one? His tail goes thump, thump, and I say, okay, red it is. So you see, Little T doesn't even own a bicycle yet, and he's in middle school. So not only is he mowing lawns and saving for Buddy's food, he's probably going to have to pay for or chip in for his own bicycle. One day, Mama sends me down the street for a gallon of milk. She gives me a $5 bill and says, hurry, so I don't take Buddy. I hear baby Terrell squalling in the kitchen, and I figure Mama's about to lose her mind. So I run all the way to the store. I grab the milk out of the cooler and slap that $5 bill on the counter, and then I hear Brother James's voice behind me. Whoops, Brother James is a new character. Is that Little T, he says? I turn around real polite. Yes, sir. You still got that three-legged dog? He's named Buddy. Brother James nods and smiles. That's a good name for a dog. You want this money or not? Says the lady behind the counter. Better take that change, Brother James says. Can't go wasting money. I stuff the change in my pocket, and Brother James says, is it true what I hear about you mowing lawns? I nod. You think you can mow the church lawn? We got some high grass right about now. I'm thinking fast, The church is a long way to push my lawnmower, I say. Brother James falls out laughing. Ha! We got a lawnmower, he says. We just don't have anybody to push it. Come over Saturday evening. That way it will look nice for Sunday. I pick up the milk, but I don't go. How much I get paid? I ask. Paid? Brother James says. I nod. This is the church, boy. Well, I'm feeding Buddy now, I say, and I'm saving for a bicycle. $5, Brother James says, and that better be one fine bicycle. Okay, so little T lands himself another job. Okay, Brother James is going to pay him to mow the lawn in the church. And at the beginning of the chapter, if you remember, he's getting phone calls from other people who want him to mow the lawn for them. So his business is picking up and things are looking good. And looks like little T's plan is working. And let's look at chapter 12 notes. The setting is little T's neighborhood. Buddy, a new character was introduced, Brother James, and I did not put that there. Buddy accompanies little T on his mowing job. So Buddy follows little T. Buddy walks with little T, okay? It's next to little T. Little T converses with Buddy like he would do with a best friend. He has a conversation. He converses, conversation, converses. He talks to, right? Talks with Buddy like he would do with a best friend. And little T gets a job mowing the lawn at his church. Here's the stop and jot question. Little T is saving money to care for Buddy and to buy a bicycle. Describe a time when you needed to save your money for something that is important to you. Now, if you haven't had the need yet to save your money for something, what might you save your money for? Or what would you save your money for so that you can get something someday that you may really want or need? But it would have to be something that's important to you. Okay? And that's that for chapter 12, and I will see you for chapter 13. And please remember to join me for my Zoom Buddy book discussions. Bye.